Hello and welcome everyone to a very brief introduction to Nattokinase, a really quick training so that you can gather some key insights and know the key features and benefits of this wonderful, now available in Canada, product. So a brief history, Nattokinase has been around for a long time. It is the enzyme component of a fermented soy food called natto, which has been a part of traditional Asian diets for a very long time. And usually the groups of people consuming natto have some key things in common with each other, and that's that they do have a longer lifespan and a lower incidence of heart disease and stroke. So one of the key reasons for that is this nattokinase enzyme component of the traditional food. So we're very excited. We do have an NPN. This product disappeared for about 7 years from the Canadian marketplace, but it continued to be available in the United States, and it continued to be recommended by Canadian healthcare providers. They had to send their patients over the border to purchase the product in the US, but there was really no decline in sales, no decline in interest in the product, because there's nothing else out there like it to replace it. So many Canadians are now happy that they don't have to go over the border to purchase the product in the US under the personal exemption law. They can just do it at their convenience here at the local health food store. And many of you who are watching this are some of the first retailers in Canada to have the product, and it's only gaining momentum. We're getting calls all the time to open new accounts just because they heard Nattokinase is available through Naka Herbs and Vitamins. So again, I want to keep this little training short. So let's run through the label quickly. First, you want to notice that it's a delayed release veggie cap. That's what you want. We do want it to survive stomach acid and bile and then release in the duodenum of the small intestine, where much of your absorption of nutrition occurs. Next, you'll notice that it says K2 free. There's speculation as to why nattokinase was removed from the Canadian marketplace in the first place, but one of the reasons could have been some concern over K2 cross-contamination, which is really hard to bring about. Nattokinase is the enzyme component, as I said. Vitamin K2 is the vitamin component of natto. The one is not inside of the other, and the other's not inside, they don't connect. So one is very separate and totally distinct from the other. But that was one of the concerns and misunderstandings, really. So because of that, you'll see that it does have K2 free written clearly on the label. So if that question is brought up, no one has to worry. This has nothing to do with vitamin K2. It's the enzyme component. You'll also notice that we put on the label it's vegetarian, it's gluten-free, and it's GMO-free. For many reasons, we showcase that we are a Canadian-made, owned, and operated company. That makes your customer feel really good. Canadians today like to endorse other Canadian companies and feed the Canadian economy. It's just a feel-good experience. Kind of piggybacks on the eat local, shop local movement as well. So we put that prominently. We used to just have it here. Now you'll notice the emblem right there. So delayed release, capsule technology, K2 free, Canadian company that you are endorsing and recommending, and it's 100 milligrams. That's a good healthy dose. Working one-on-one with the client, you can decide if you want to do higher dosages than that, and definitely give me a call if you'd like to do high doses. Dr. Zoltan Roner, our chief medical advisor, often does do higher doses than this, but one capsule per day at 100 milligrams is a good healthy therapeutic dose as well. Now, behind its amazing benefits, which we'll get into, is the fact that nattokinase is fibrinolytic, meaning it helps to break down a substance or a tissue called fibrin. That's what is a component of a blood clot. So it is excellent for breaking down blood clots, and it will help to clean and cleanse the arteries so that you can have smooth, easy blood flow to and from the heart. Because of this, blood pressure is normalized. It's also excellent for cholesterol, but let's go through this list together. It really is your go-to heart health supplement. Virtually anything you can think of related to the heart can benefit from nattokinase supplementation. The best customer for you is the customer who is looking preventatively when it comes to their health. They want to prevent heart disease and stroke. Maybe they have a family history of cardiovascular health issues, and they want to prevent. That's your ideal person. You do need to exercise caution when you're dealing with people who have had a heart attack or a stroke, or they have other heart issues and they're on blood thinners or anticoagulants. If they are, that's not your job to make recommendations from there. They really need to be just working with their doctor. So we want to caution people from recommending nattokinase to those who are on blood thinners like Coumadin, warfarin. This is probably not the product for them unless, they make a recovery and now they're not using any drug intervention. So your ideal customer, patient, client is somebody who is not on a prescription blood thinner, okay? Because the two do not go together. So we have some great flyers. First, I'll call your attention to the article written by Dr. Zoltan Rona. Again, for those of you who don't know him, he's our chief medical advisor. He is a medical doctor, an MD, who has a practice here, a very strong practice for the last several decades, right in Toronto. And his article, which was published in Vitality Magazine, which you can find online, I believe it's vitalitymagazine.com or .ca. Just Google it and it will come up. He's written a great article. We published it again with all of his references in a convenient brochure that you can share with your customer. This is his TriStar label. You have a choice. If you're a platinum partner, you're going to get the bonus bottle. That's the absolute best deal for you. If you like TriStar, do TriStar. It's great as well. And TriStar, we don't allow anybody to advertise online. So a lot of people today are concerned about online retailers. Go with TriStar if that's your concern, because you'll never see it online. So this is a great brochure. And again, well-researched, well-documented. You're going to learn everything you need to know about recommending Natto and why you would want to. The second flyer, which can be produced for TriStar as well, but it is produced for Platinum, lists some of the key benefits. So let's go through those together. So again, we already mentioned it has a fibrinolytic property. It breaks down fibrin, and that's the key component of a blood clot, so it helps to break blood clots down, in brackets, thrombosis. Great for arterial cleansing. So if somebody wants a nutritional arterial cleanse, something that's non-invasive, like a surgery, they might try nattokinase as a first line of defense, or to prevent getting into that situation where they need to make decisions about surgery. It's great for varicose veins. Again, it is basically cleaning out the arteries and the veins, giving a clear pathway for blood to pump to and from the heart. So there's less pressure on the vascular system. As there is a narrowing of the arteries, as in atherosclerosis, where you've got cholesterol gumming up the system, you've got blood clots. Picture it like a river. There's sediment essentially building up in the river, which is your bloodstream. And there's a narrowing of the arterial wall. And so the heart has to work harder and harder to pump the blood to and from it, because it's got this very narrow passageway. When we clean that up and we do some arterial cleansing and we use products like nattokinase, that pathway is open and clear and free to flow again. The sediment is gone, the debris is gone, the river is clear, and now there's far less pressure on the entire cardiovascular system. And that is why you would expect that it would be helpful for those with varicose veins, which is the result of pressure on the vascular system, on the veins themselves. So overall, it will improve circulation. So somebody comes to you complain of circulation, highly recommended. It's also great for relieving nasal inflammation. Similar to serrapeptase, both of these enzymes are actually mucolytic as well. So they'll break down any congestion, any compacted or impacted mucus in the sinus cavity. You don't often think of nattokinase when you think of sinusitis or congestion in the sinuses, you usually think of the heart, and that should be, you know, the number one thing that occurs for you. But great for cleaning out the sinus cavity. We mentioned blood pressure. Again, when you relieve the pressure on the system by cleaning out the arteries, blood pressure can naturally normalize. You're also going to see on this pamphlet, and I encourage you to go through it all, a whole host of other things that you can recommend nattokinase, even something like painful menstrual cramping, which is sometimes caused by excessive clotting. That could be one of the causes of dysmenorrhea, painful menstrual cramping, too much excessive clotting. So go through this one by one, and you'll find that when you're in a pinch, what do I recommend? Oftentimes, what you should recommend is nattokinase. And again, everybody's super excited to have it finally back in Canada and easy to access. Any other questions, comments, or observations, please do let me know. There's far more to this product than I shared in terms of the benefits and things that it can do for your customers, and the ways that it can help to improve their life. Have a great day, everyone.